Welcome to Orange Cups Podcast, where each episode we discuss insightful conversations and uplifting stories with inspiration. Today, I would like to welcome Jacinda, aka Virgo Beauty, to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, woo woo. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hoping that you're enjoying your weekend.
Yes.
We're gonna just dive into it. I really don't want to give a background to everybody just yet. I kind of want it to come from you. So now I know you've been dancing since the age of 5, right?
Since the age of 4.
Since the age of 4. You stated to me that your parents thought that they might have felt that there was something off with your health.
Yeah. So basically, that's when the whole journey happened with me being sick when I was at the age of 5. So I got diagnosed with JRA, which is juvenile, JIA, sorry, juvenile idiopathic arthritis. So that's the kid form. Usually they call it RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis for adults. But I got diagnosed at the age of 5 with it. I remember, my mom telling me that she used to put me in the tub and because of my knees were hurting me so bad. And I was literally crying like every morning. And that was just like my exercise in the morning before I went to school. I always went to school like at 12 or like just so late because of that too. So
Where were your very early symptoms when you noticed that you were feeling pain?
I used to get sick a lot. And even young, I used to wonder, like, why am I always sick? Like, oh my God, like, I just felt horrible. Like, even just having the flu or like just having a cold, like, it always lasted longer. And I just always felt horrible. I feel like it was just always worse. Like it just like the feeling like how like someone else would describe how they're feeling. It's just I would just be feeling worse, and I would explain it to be worse than what somebody else would say.
Right. Worse
if you
than what a
know,
normal kid would be sick
right?
for. Were you sick longer for like, you know how a kid would be sick for
Definitely,
like maybe 5 to 7 days?
yeah.
It would
I
prolong.
mhm. So like my recovery too, like adding on to being sick, like I wouldn't really be in school because of that, and
So
they were
they pulled you
gonna,
out of school a lot.
yeah, my mom, yeah, yeah.
At a young age, how did you process your feelings knowing that you were feeling something different?
Well, it wasn't really spoken about the situation of me having it until I got older. I feel like, with you having a child and you just don't want to like present it, and I feel like I went to remission for many years, possibly because I was very active. I was doing everything in Girl Scouts and dancing school and CCD and everything. So I feel like that helped with me being very active. But I didn't really speak about it with my parents at a young age, but it was brought to my attention in 2016 as I got older, because that's when I feel like that's when it really started.
At the age of 5, you were enrolled into dance school. Can you speak more on that? How did that happen?
Yeah, so ever since I was able to crawl, we're at parties, I'm over here
Hey,
dancing. My mom would feed me. I would like dance, even little, like, and I think it all started with Barney. Ever
you gotta love
since,
Barney.
yeah, that was my best friend. I loved him, and ever since like I started watching that, I feel like my mom, she was like, okay, she's very musically inclined, like she likes music, so let me, have this chance to put her in and see. And ever since then, I was in competition. I was in hip hop, jazz, tap, ballet, and I was always involved, whether it came to school, talent shows. Anyway, that dance was involved, I was there.
That's good. Did you
Hmm.
say it helped you distract yourself from the physical pain you were feeling?
Definitely. I feel like, this has always been a part of me. And it's so funny because being so young and like going through, you don't really know what you're going through until you get older, and then you completely understand. But like when I was young, I always told myself like I have a story to tell.
Yeah.
And this didn't really start until like 2016 that I actually started going through, my health journey. So it's pretty amazing, but definitely dance always helps. Dance has always been very therapeutic for me, and I feel like it is for a lot of people.
In 2018, your diagnosis went from JRA to RA, and you
Yes.
were also diagnosed with Still's disease. How did that change your life with a new diagnosis added to your list?
Whew, I was going through it. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just gonna be completely real.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people who are gonna watch this and stuff and listen, and take it in, it's normal. Whenever you get the news that you don't want to hear it, it's completely life changing. And I feel like even going through it, I knew that there was something wrong, and then I went into remission, like I said, and here and there, as the years went by, I started having like problems with my anemia. So that was, a problem. And then like when the weather would change, my knees would get like stiff, very stiff. So that was like the only thing. Now, 2016, that's when it started. I moved, and I just I just literally had a flare up. So basically a flare up is, my body was attacking itself. My immune system was attacking itself. So I was having my throat itchy. I couldn't really talk. I was just dizzy. I was nauseous. I had a fever. I couldn't even dress myself. That's how bad it was. I literally got to the point where I was bedridden out of nowhere. I was working in Walmart. And, I moved. I was, doing my own thing, and just life was lifing. And it just happened out of nowhere. I ended up having like rashes too all over my face. And I'm thinking, oh, because I'm working in the back, this is why it's happening. I'm having a
Yeah.
allergic reaction.
Right, to
But it
all the
ended up,
dust and stuff.
and I am sensitive to that. So I thought it was that. But as the days went by, like by the fourth day of that happening, boom, it just really, it hit me, and I had to come back to New York. Now, 2 years later, in 2018, that's when I got diagnosed with Stills also. So I knew about the rheumatoid already. But then, when I went to go see the rheumatologist, she was like looking at my paperwork. She was like, you have Stills also. And I was like, whoa, what is this? Like, I never heard of it, and it's rare. So I had to do my research, and it's been a journey since then.
In 2020, you gained the courage to fight through the pain and started Dance with Virgo and
Yeah.
Virgo Beauty. Can you give us details of what each brand is and what it stands for?
This all like came about when COVID was happening. So, being home with yourself, and I'm pretty much a lot of people, I could assume that a lot of people can relate to this because, you're home, and your mind is just wandering because you got
Right.
nothing else to do. This shit is happening in the world, and you're just going crazy. So, at the end of the day, dance always comes back to me no matter what, whether I'm upset, mad, anything. So, and I was at the point in my life where, I'm like, I'm still young. Why am I not doing what makes me happy? And, I get that I'm going through what I'm going through health wise, but who says I can't do it? So I took the courage, and I was like, you know what? I'm fed up of this stuff. Let me brainstorm and let me figure out what I can do and how I can fit and just do things. And I just made Dance with Virgo. And, Virgo Beauty came about like, cause I'm a Virgo. So that,
Hey.
and then beauty. And I was like, you know what? I'm a beautiful person.
Right.
That's what a lot of people think of me too. And I was like, let me just embrace that name. And it just, ever since I changed it, it's just been a thing. So I was like, let me go and let me just run with it and see how this goes. And, Dance with Virgo, it just blossomed.
When did you notice that things were different and that you might have needed to heal from certain feelings or to take you out the darkness? Like I know
Yeah.
Dance with Virgo was like probably the start of it, like you were in the mid of the pandemic, which was crazy times. Were you noticing that maybe you were in a dark place or just not
Hmm.
feeling yourself or kind of depressed?
Yeah, definitely. When COVID was happening, I feel like I hit not a rock bottom, but definitely a lot of emotions have went downhill, And I feel like, I spent a lot of time with myself, and I had to, just, I'm a very logical person. So I was like, all right, girl, what's going on? What's the pros? What's the
Yeah.
cons? How can we fix this? How can we like go about this? And, at the end of the day, I figured, it was because of dance wasn't in my life at the time. I was in a relationship, you know how that goes. That's a whole nother story. But, I feel like at the end of the day, I was like, you know what makes me happy? And I need to do it for myself. And sometimes you can't worry about what other people think or say. You have to make yourself happy. At the end of the day, it's all about you. You come first, So I feel like that was everything for me. And, feeling like that, I was like, oh my God, there's definitely something wrong. But I knew for a fact that it was dance. And as soon as I started getting into that and started teaching, like, and started meeting people and making them smile and laugh, like it's like everything else goes away. When I'm in the room teaching or when I'm around people teaching, it's just like I'm not sick, I'm not angry, I'm not sad, nothing like it goes out the window. I step into that room like as if I'm so happy. I want to live in the moment forever. And, when I leave, I do get upset because I'm like, I can do this forever. But, yeah, that's how I knew. And then when I got back to it, I was just like, oh, this was the missing piece of the puzzle.
What activities do you participate in when it comes to advocating for autoimmune diseases?
So I'm pretty much new to it.
Hmm.
Um, I met some people and I was, you know, very blessed to be able to meet them and conversate and like connect and everything. And for them to be able to put me on stuff too as well. So, um, I do a yearly walk, which is coming up actually next month. And it's called uh, Walk for the Cure for Arthritis. And I usually do it here in New York. It's from the morning to like the afternoon. Basically, we just walk. They have stuff that you can purchase there. Some things are free. So I do that. What else? Oh, I'm also on Facebook. I don't really use Facebook, but there's like a group in there for Still's disease that I'm in, and yeah, I'm pretty much new to it, so I'm trying to like get into it, and to advocate and to be vulnerable and to start doing this. This is actually I believe my second podcast that I'm on that I spoke about my story. So
I love to see people come out and advocate for themselves and for everybody else that doesn't have the voice or feels like they can't speak about it.
yeah,
More so
it's not
because,
easy.
yeah, it's not. I'm not. I'm sure it's not. And it's you're fighting or you're in demons at the same time. Like
Hmm.
oh, the world blessed me with this gift, but I'm so good at this. How can that these two coexist with each other?
Right. In the
Um,
beginning,
right.
now I look at it totally different because as you get older, I feel like you tend to understand everything
Yeah.
more. And I feel like, I have to take it with grace. I can't always be like, oh my God, why me? I feel like that's negative energy too, and I feel
Yeah.
like it's just going to stress me out. So
Right.
I threw it out the window and I was like, let's just be positive and, it doesn't matter what I'm going through. At the end of the day, like, I feel like that this is a thing and I can be Virgo beauty and there's a spot for me in the world, and I feel like there's a spot for everybody. If you feel like, that you can't do it because of this, that, and the third, throw that all in the window and just be like, you know what, I can and try. You never know unless you try. And honestly, I would have never knew that I could meet so many people and do what I'm doing if I never tried. If I would have just stood home upset and just, all over my head, like thinking all these thoughts, like, oh, I can't, all this negative talk, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And it's so scary to think about that. And I'm so, so happy that I was able to push myself and conjure up that courage and be like, you know what? I don't care what anybody says. I don't care about nobody's opinion. I'm gonna just do what I gotta do because at the end of the day, it's me being happy. You gotta worry about yourself. So,
Where do you say you're at today with dancing and your progress within your career?
so I am an instructor in
Okay.
Brooklyn at Diva Dance. So, woo woo,
Okay, shout them out. David Dance. Go
right,
see my girl. Go get a
woo,
class.
Brooklyn.
Tell them where they can
Um,
find you.
so on Instagram, because my schedule changes this month, they have me for Mondays and a Tuesday. So if you guys want to be interested, you could go on the website, or you guys can follow me on Instagram, which is Virgo Beauty XO. This was crazy because the story for this was like, ugh. So in January, February, I call them disrespectful months because it's cold, and for some reason, I'm always getting sick.
Ah, got it.
I ended up getting COVID for the first time, and let me tell you, never again. COVID is the worst. I felt like complete crap. Like I was home for a whole month. I was sick for a whole month. And then I had to recover like that month after. So it basically took like 2 months of me just, and in the process of this was diva dance, me applying and me going through everything. So I was going nuts. I was crying one day, then I was happy because I had the opportunity, and then I'm just like fighting, like you can do this, like. But then I'm also like giving myself grace and like, okay, do you feel like you can do it? Like, is this something like you're going through this right now? But and I'm glad that I fought through it, even though after that I was struggling with vertigo also.
Oh,
So having COVID and then boom, okay, here you go. Now vertigo. I was like, what's going on? Like I was like, please, like this is not happening right now. Like this is not the time. Wrong timing. But you know what? I looked up and I said, you know what? I see what you're doing. You challenging me right now, God. Okay. I I did what I had to do. I had to go to my doctors, my rheumatologist. It was a lot going on. But I made it. I'm much better. I gained weight, but that's temporary. That's something you can fix. And I did what I had to do, and we're here. I ended up getting the position. Um, Thankfully, they was I'm very understanding, and everything worked out. So, and at the end of the day, I told myself, I said, I understand you're stressed out. I understand you're going through what you're going through, but if it's meant for you, Jacinda, it's meant for you. And don't be upset if things like crumble. So I had to like emotionally and mentally prepare myself for that too.
what would be your message to anyone fighting a silent battle due to health issues?
Just keep going. Keep going. And it's perfectly normal to let it out. Do what makes you feel better. Anything that's therapeutic for you, whether it's reading a book, whether it's affirmations, because girl, let me tell you, I my whole life changed, and I had to do it for myself. Whatever that's gonna help you, do it. Who cares about what anybody else has to say? I feel like mental health and, going through silent battles is, a big thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and they like to sweep it under the rug, and everybody, even social media, like everybody claims to be perfect and try to show like, oh, I'm this type of person, but behind closed doors, everybody got, something that they need to speak about. And I feel like, if you have a problem, if you feel like you can't do it, whatever it is, seek out help. Talk to people that's gonna understand you and be there for you. If not, my DMs are open. Hello. um, but yeah, everybody's journey is different. So with mine, I feel like affirmations helped, reading a lot, researching, and educating myself more about what I'm going through, and also connecting with people who are going through the same exact thing. I have some spoony friends, that's what they call it, and some people who are going through like the same exact thing, who are diagnosed with the same thing. Some people who aren't diagnosed with the same thing, but are going through a similar journey. So it. Let me tell you something. If I would have never went on Facebook and did what I did and write what I write, and I would not have met them. So I'm highly blessed that I have those people in my life. Shout out to Danny. I love her so
Hey,
much.
Danny.
Oh my God, I love her so much. Ugh. Yeah, I'm also on an app called Help, which is HEALP, and that's for people who are going through any chronic illness and stuff like that.
What does the app entail of?
Basically, so you could put what you're going through, what you have, what you got diagnosed with. You could put a little bio. If you have Instagram, you could put it there so people can follow you and you could connect.
So it's a
Um,
support app.
yeah,
Like you guys allowed to follow each other. Can you send messages to each
yes,
other?
you can also send messages. Yeah,
How positive do you think your support group is towards your journey?
I got emotional about this the other day because someone said to me, they were like, you never know, like a lot of people are watching you, like
Yeah.
you never know. So sometimes I feel like I give, and I don't like give myself the giving or the loving sometimes, if that makes sense. I love to make other people happy, and then I forget about, like, so sometimes when people remind me that, I'm like, oh shit, like I am a good person, like, I am doing this for other people, and it makes me feel good that I'm able to have the strength to be vulnerable and share my story and then make other people feel good. Like, it's like it's it's incredible, like what you can do for somebody else. Like, I have people all over, like, just hitting me up like, oh my God, like, just randomly, and I'm just here reading it, I'm just like, oh my God, like, just because I posted this or posted that, just being me, like, it's crazy.
How do you feel when people reach out to you and tell you something that you don't think of yourself? Like you're just like, oh wow, like that was deep. Like I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting that. What goes through your mind?
At first, I'm going through the emotions like, oh wow, like this person really thinks about me like that, like, and then I tend to appreciate it and really like overthink about why I'm here and my mission and my purpose. So, it like I said, it makes me happy because at the end of the day, when someone says something so meaningful and so beautiful like that, like it makes me feel really good because I'm like, at the end of the day, that's only one person. I don't care about 1,000 people. I don't care about 100. If I could just do that for one person, it makes me feel so happy. I love to like sit there and listen to other people because we have to be empathetic and have sympathy. Like, there's so many mean people in the world. Like, stop being mean.
Stop being mean. That's right, mean
Yeah,
people.
stop being
There
mean.
is.
Stop being mean. Share love.
Can you
Share. Be loving. Let's go.
can you remember a message that stood deep in your heart and your soul, or something close to it, like something that was really bold and you can't forget it?
In a nutshell, basically, from different people, it's basically kind of the same thing. They'll say like, "Oh, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing your story because not a lot of people do that. Not a lot of people have the courage to, and because of you, like I'm able to do this and do that." So,
What type of footprints would you want to leave behind?
I asked myself, right, if I was to pass away, God forbid, knock on wood, right now, would I be happy? Would I like, be like, what, I did my job? Yeah, because of the fact that I'm being myself and there's no like regret in anything. Um, my journey was given to me. Um, it was not asked for. It was not like, hey, pick me. It was nothing. And I always think about like, would I be a different person? Would my goals be different? Would this be different? That be different? Excuse me. I don't know. and um but yeah, I do ask myself, like, would I be happy? Do I feel like, I left a mark on somebody? Do I feel this? Is there still things that I want to do in life to accomplish before and what is left? Like, I feel like in life, there's so many things that you want to do, and we don't know when it's our time to go. We don't, but this is why every day I try to do something that makes me happy and that will make somebody else happy, because God forbid, at at least I'm trying to be the best me.
Yeah, and I really thank you for coming on and being strong. I know it takes a lot of effort and time and energy just to be like, well, I'm going to go on and speak my truth, and I'm going to tell the world that it's okay to be given a different path in life, but doesn't mean that you can't still accomplish your goals or anything that you want to do in life. There is support groups out there, there is help out there. And that's the reason why I try to have these type of conversations, because people have
Yeah.
stories need to be heard for people to understand and relate to you, and just be like, well, I'm not alone in this journey, and there are people out there that are feeling the same type of way. So I'm really happy that you came on and spoke your truth, because it helps the world become a better place. And I think that, this helps a lot of people feel more confident in getting help if they are not getting help, or
Yes.
maybe calling a friend or a family member saying, hey, I'm really feeling down today. My doctor told me this, and I've never told nobody, and I don't know how to,
Right.
go about it or speak about it,
Right.
because I feel like they just gave me a death sentence or something.
Yeah.
And I don't think people should think like that, because I feel like you're still able to maneuver the way you want through life,
Yeah.
and your journey is your journey no matter what. You might have days where it might be harder than other people, but you know your journey wasn't given to you if your universe or your god didn't believe that you can handle the fight. So
Exactly.
with that being said, I know that they gave you a special task, and that it was to reach certain people and dance through the pain. Talking about self-healing,
Hmm.
I feel like self-healing is more of a mind and body connection. What is
Hmm.
the difference between self-love and healing yourself? I think it's giving yourself all things that you want. you know it should be putting yourself first at all costs, but many of us live our lives and forget to take the time to remember that we need to put ourselves first. It's a total embrace of what you are, and acknowledge that you have room to grow and much to let go of. How do you feel like you put that into everyday motion in real life?
So I have this app. It's called I Am on my phone, and basically it shows like positive messages. So that's one way that I you know do my self love and healing. I feel like I have to talk to myself a little bit nicer, because that has been like a thing with me, that I always bash myself, and I'm
Yeah,
always like, ugh, we could be our worst critics at some time.
yeah.
And I don't know, I just feel like now putting more grace with myself, because now it's all about the love for it, not because I'm trying to prove something. I feel like in the beginning it was a little bit about proving, like, oh, I can do it, like,
Yeah.
and then I had to take the step back and be like, hold up, girl. You're doing it because you love it, and because it's, self love, and because you're healing, like, through it. It's therapeutic for you, not because you're trying to prove anything. So I had to tell myself that. And yeah.
Self love is a mindset and energy that we use to evolve. It's not only a mindset, but taking action, doing what you need to do to know how to heal yourself. We do not see with our eyes, but we see with our emotions. What do you do on the days where you feel your emotions are overcoming what your eyes could really see and what your body can really do?
I don't even know, like, how to answer that one, but I mean, yeah, that it's it's hard, because when you're aware of things, I feel like it's a little bit easier. But then when you're not aware of things, it's like, it's hard. And it tends to be like a cycle because you tend to notice that you keep doing something without even knowing that you're doing it. But we do everything intentionally too. So it's a little bit like, it's a little bit weird. But when I'm like down in the dumps, I just let it out. I just cry because I feel like that works for me. If I hold it in, I feel like it's just gonna make things worse, and I don't like to bottle anything up anymore. I used to do that, and then like it was like a bad simmer of a pot inside of me.
Yeah.
The freaking top was just like rumbling. No, I'm not doing that no more. If I need to cry, it's perfectly normal, all right? If
Yeah.
you need to go to therapy, I'm actually considering that, and I'm going to be 30 years old soon. So, you know what? It's okay.
Where are you today with your mental health, your physical health? How can you say everything you've been through aligns to who you are today and everything you've done so far?
I'm still growing. Um, I mean, I like to live in the present, the now. So, I do have goals and I do have things that I want to do in the future, but I always like to live in the now. Right now, I feel like my headspace is way better. So that's a win. That's a W right there.
Yeah, that's right.
um, my health I haven't been in the hospital.
Amen.
There is some hiccups here and there sometimes, but that's what comes with the journey. But at the end of the day, I feel like I in the beginning I was scared like to go to appointments and stuff like that. I feel like now it's like a little bit more comfortable for me. Um, even though I do get a little bit nervous still, but I feel like the journey of like going and showing up for myself and being like, I'm feeling this way and speaking up and just being more responsible on the health aspect, like is been better. So that's a win too. And yeah, I just feel like right now in the present, it's just growing and it's blossoming, and I'm very happy that I'm where I'm at now because years ago it was not it. And I'm so happy that now I'm taking a little bit easy on myself and giving myself grace because I didn't need to be spoken to like that from myself at all. And it's understandable as to why I felt
Hmm.
the way I did. And
Right.
if anybody else, if you're speaking to yourself and you're not supposed to be speaking to yourself like that, don't. And even if you do, it's okay. Take a second to breathe and, like I said before, do what's healthy for you to make things better.
Can you say you're proud of yourself?
I'm so
I'm proud of you too.
proud
And I'm
of myself. Oh
sure the
my
world
God.
is. I'm sure the
Oh,
world is. I'm sure you are leaving waves and traces behind
I hope
you
so.
and
That is the goal. All
right.
right. That is the goal. That is the goal. Like, I wanted to, make it be known that it's okay. And, even being different, like being the oddball, because I feel like I was always like that when I was small.
Yeah.
I always used to dress funky, like with these different color leggings
That's
and like
right.
do like I always like to stand out. So I feel like, it's a little bit scary to be like that because um you get made fun of or people, you stand out. You're like a, sore thumb.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I tend to embrace that and I keep going. So hopefully, it's all positive, and I just want to be there for people and let them know that it's okay to, life be lifing. Period.
Right. I mean, I know. We know.
Life be lifing. But
Right.
your girl here, Virgo, is to say it's okay, and you know what? You got this. You can do whatever you want in life. It's what is impossible is possible, okay? And let me tell you something, it takes a lot of fucking strength, a lot of strength for you to keep going, okay? But let me tell you something. Yeah, you got everyone, every single individual has the power to be able to conjure that up, like Super Saiyan, and
Yeah,
just
that's
keep
right.
going. So, Super Saiyan. Okay, let's get that power and just keep going. You could do this.
Do you have anything else to say to the world while you have this platform?
Just keep being you. Keep keep fighting to be you. Keep, lead with love. Okay, be kind. Okay, we're here, and I feel like there's so much cruel stuff that's happening in the world. This is why I don't like to watch the news. But
Right.
there are positive people. You will always find your tribe. You will always find people to support you. But, treat people like how you want to be treated.
Well, I really do want to thank you for your time today. I know that we've hit some topics that might be sensitive, and I
Yeah, I was trying
honestly
not to
am.
cry. I was like, girl,
I
don't
know,
cry.
but it's amazing to see somebody like you step up and speak for the rest of the world when the rest of the world does feel silent. And this goes for anybody going through mental health, like I say, and I'm going to say every episode, a lot of people don't speak on their problems. And we are here to show you that just one regular person is going through hell, and we
Yeah.
can find a way to heal each other if we're nicer to each other. Because I'm going to pinpoint that since you said it 100 times. Be nice,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Because there are some mean people out here. It doesn't take a lot to be nice and help somebody go through their day.
It's free
Um, it,
99.
yeah, and let's bring that. Yeah, exactly. Let's make that normal.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, Jacinda, again for your time
Thank
today,
you.
and
Thank
thank
you
you for
so
being on
much.
Orange Cups podcast. We appreciate you. Go stream this on YouTube. Full episode on YouTube. Clips will be on IG soon.